Dion.
We're appreciate it. I didn't know I was gonna come up here after she threatened to take y'all's cell phone, so I'm a little nervous right now. Before we get started, I'm gonna kind of do something a little different. I don't want to bore y'all, so I need y'all to be a little bit interactive with me, okay? So the first thing, I got a question. What's something y'all are dealing with, like problems? Can one or two people, 2 to 3 people raise their hand and tell me like what's going on in y'all life? What's up? Females, okay. And what about them? Cheating on you? Okay, we're gonna parking lot that one, okay? Because I don't know if I can solve it, but you know what? I appreciate you for talking first. I got a $25 Domino's gift card for you. I appreciate it. There you go. So female. Oh, listen. I'm telling you this right now. If you want to get somebody's attention, give away money, okay? Everybody pay attention here. Talk to me. What's your name? Christian, all right, what's up? Talk to me. What's something you dealing with? And listen, I want this to be an open dialogue, but I also want y'all to be serious because if I'm going to be up here for 20, 30 minutes or whatever, I want to make sure that y'all get value from it. I'm not here to BS you. I don't want to bore you, but also I understand what it's like to sit in those seats. Talk to me.
Like confidence.
Speak more on that.
Like sports, like letting people talk down on you, like getting in your head thinking that you can't do something.
Gotcha.
When you're fully capable of doing it, but you hear someone that you don't believe in yourself.
Gotcha. Okay, Catrice, write down confidence for me. What's your name?
Transportation is.
No, so your name is, how you doing, transportation issue? Nice to meet you. Kendall, nice to meet you. And you said transportation issues. Talk a little bit about that.
Like getting around with multiple cars, people doing jobs and stuff, and not being able to get somewhere on time.
Gotcha. Okay, transportation issues. Somebody from this side. What's your name? Austin, what's up, man? Talk to me. Give me something. Responsibilities. Tell me what you mean.
So basically, it's kind of hard to have. I have a bunch of responsibilities I gotta maintain. Like I got chores, got a side job, I got 4 brothers I gotta take care of when I get home. And it's kind of hard to like focus on school and get some of my work done, and I gotta kind of turn it in late. That's kind of been like an issue for me for like a year or so now.
Gotcha.
It's kind of hard. I don't know how to get through that.
Okay. So responsibilities. And I see why you wearing a tie, because this just worked for you. You're trying to get through the day, I understand. What's the other question, Catrice? Boom, I need 2 or 3 people. Oh, no, she said it for me. I'm gonna repeat the question. No, it's all good. That question is, what do you all want me to touch on while I'm speaking? Like, what's the topic? What's, besides responsibilities or something else? Talk to me. How did I build myself? Okay, that's one. Okay, how do we do it? Somebody else. No, you gotta go now. Don't put your hand down. What's your name? Caleb. Okay, who's that sitting next to you? Darius. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, he giggling the whole time. It's all good. Talk to me. What's going on?
How to be a responsible young man, manage to keep your head through tough times.
Got you. So keeping your head up. Tupac voice. Last one.
Shamar, how do you use your money responsibly?
Say it again.
How do you use your money responsibly?
My what responsibly?
Money saved.
Oh, man, look, I'm like, huh? All right, cool. So we got money. We got, what's the other 2? Keeping my head up. And what's the other one? How to build myself. Boom. Okay, so let's start. Number 1 from Inglewood. Okay. Anybody here from the West Side? Boo. I knew you was from the West Side. Yeah, there we go. No, listen. So I'll tell you a little bit about me, where I grew up, how I grew up, and how I started all of this. If you all have any questions at any point, just holler at me. Raise your hand. I'm gonna try to call on you. If you feel like you're getting sleepy or anything, just kind of stand up behind where y'all sitting at. You know what I mean? I want to make sure y'all stay woke. But look, Dion Dawson, I'm the founder and chief dreamer of Dion Chicago Dream. We're a nonprofit that fights food insecurity through last mile delivery and logistics. All that means is instead of going to a food pantry, we created an organization that actually delivers the food directly to your household for free. How many of you are aware that you could actually have a nonprofit job? Not a lot, right? Because most of the times you hear about food pantries or nonprofits, it's always about volunteering, right? And that was my problem. All throughout my life, I grew up in Inglewood. I was homeless 90% of my childhood. I went to the Navy, came back and was homeless again. And the only thing I noticed was that when we talked about nonprofits in communities that looked like me, we always talked about volunteering. We always talked about, having to get free food and it's the worst food possible. The quality was bad, all of these things. I said, when I started Dion Chicago Dream, it just started from a young person coming up to me in 2020 and said, hey, what are you doing for Juneteenth? Now, I don't know about y'all, but have you ever tried to BS somebody when you don't want to do nothing? So he was like, what you doing for the community? I'm like, man, you already know what I'm. He was like, no, what are you doing? And I said, okay, I'm going to feed 100 families. At that moment, I had no money at all. So I said, okay, how am I going to get this money? So what's your name, Redell? What's your name? Malachi, if you needed to get $1,000, what is a legal way that you can think about getting that money? What would you do if you had to get $1,000? Okay, so you got a lot of stuff. I didn't have a lot of stuff. But if you didn't have stuff, what would you do? Talk to me. Oh yeah, but you got to do it quick. So how you gonna get? What's something that we do in our online when we trying to raise money? Yo, y'all saying sports betting is crazy. That's where we are now? Okay, no, the answer is GoFundMe. But I need y'all to check y'all phones because obviously y'all got bets that's active right now. I don't even know how y'all doing that. But I started a GoFundMe and raised enough money to feed 96 families in July of 2020. And since then, I've raised about $19 million. Created about almost 70 jobs, paying at least $20 an hour, and run 2 companies that's both multi-million in revenue. When you ask about how did I do that, first and foremost, I was completely lost for most of my life. I knew I was special, but I didn't really know how I was going to show people I was special. So, first things first, understand when it comes to being a young black man in this society, it is extremely difficult. You're misunderstood. You're tried like an adult, even though you're not an adult. You're not given any grace. And so for me, I didn't find my life's calling until I was 30. And I was lucky enough to drift until then. I did the military. I worked at Amazon, did all of these things. I said, man, I know I'm special, but I don't really know how to do it. And literally from the moment I just said, hey, I'm going to feed my community in 2020, my life turned up. Ended up being on TV on Ellen's show, meeting President Barack Obama multiple times, introducing him, speaking all over the world, all because I decided to feed Inglewood. So I started. After that, I said, okay, how are we going to keep this thing going? Oh, yeah, matter of fact, hey, man, oh, you a gift card. I appreciate you. There you go. There you go. Anybody else want a gift card? Yeah. All right, okay. I'm going to quiz y'all in a minute. Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. Okay. What's your name? Isaiah. How much money have I raised? Nope. No. I'm switching the question now. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna keep y'all going. Why your hands still up? Talk to me. Were you responsible for that food drive in Inglewood during 2020? So, which one? But I don't do food drives. So I'm. What is your? I got you. I know what you're saying. So when I tell you that we focus on food insecurity, hunger and food insecurity is 2 different things. Hunger is a feeling, the feeling of being hungry, but food insecurity is the lack of consistent access to healthy options. I want y'all to remember that, okay? Because whether or not you all can admit it or accept it, you all are not bystanders in your community. So you got to dictate and let people know that it's not okay to feed your people bad food. So the difference with us and why we set apart is we've never taken any donated food. All of the produce, more than 7 million pounds, we've purchased, packed, and delivered, all on our own. And so when we talk about food drives, what I try to make sure people understand is that even though you're a nonprofit, that's just your tax status. You still can generate revenue and you can create jobs. And that was the thing that we wanted to do. I'm here because this is my job. Made the most money I've ever made working this job, able to be myself in this job. So that's what sets us apart. So if it was a food drive, probably not. Probably one of the other partners in Inglewood. But you won't see us, Dion Chicago Dream, doing food drives. We have branded sprinters going around the county, and we deliver to households. Right now we're delivering to about 5,300 households in Cook County. So it started in 15 households on 2 blocks in Inglewood. We're now in 182 zip codes in Cook County. But I appreciate that question. Anybody else got a question? I like that. Talk to me.
How are
it's a nonprofit,
Yep.
how are you as an individual making your money?
Oh, it's my salary. And I want you all to understand this. Most, you all can look up how much I get paid online. So I can't even lie to you. That's the fun part. Most people who work for nonprofits, we have to, file all of our stuff annually. So you can literally go to Google, put in nonprofit search, and then go to that IRS website, put in our organization, and you'll see my salary right there. So yeah, that's how I get paid.
What do you think you'd be that dude that asked you that question for BT?
Let's see. I don't really know because at that point I was just existing. I think this is the first time in my life where I felt like I'm actually living life. And the only thing I can hope for all of you all is like, man, like y'all get to find y'all gift. If you really get to find your gift and work and do what you're meant to do, it won't feel like anything you've ever done. This is not work for me. But also I have to make sure that I come here and talk to you all because I'm supposed to. If I'm successful by some people's standards, and if I'm a leader, then I got to make sure that when you got a room full of amazing black boys here and they ask you questions, you'll be able to answer them. But I don't know where I'd be. Honestly, I didn't think none of this was possible. I didn't set out to create 2 companies. I didn't set out to hire people. I just take the opportunity and I go with it and I learn every single day. That's it. Appreciate the question. Somebody else? Anybody else? Gotcha. Let me see. Do I have any more gift cards? Oh, yeah. Okay. What's your name? Steve. What's the name of my organization? Ooh, that hurt. It's okay. Anybody know? That's it. That's all. I wasn't that hard. Look. He read behind me. There you go. I ain't gonna make it too hard. That's all good. Look. Amir, he disappointed in you, Stevie. He like, damn, you could have did that, man. No, you just ruined my joke, man. Come on, what you doing, man? But anyway, so listen. The last thing is really turning what I created and how do I kind of pay it forward. So when you talk about, how do you have confidence? I'll tell you this. There have been so many people along this journey that have tried to convince me that I didn't know what I was doing. I had never ran a nonprofit. I didn't really know about nonprofit. But every time I would share my idea, everyone would tell me how it's not possible. I remember when we had less than, matter of fact, to start the bank account, I borrowed $200 from my mom. And early on, I just told her, I said, hey, I'm going to go for this thing. And so when you talk about confidence and believing in yourself and all of that, every time you go at 3 o'clock when your day ends, the only thing you guys got out there is a lot of people that's doubting y'all. A lot of people that don't care about y'all. So the only thing I do is focus on the people that care about me and the things that are for me. That's it. There's a lot of people that haven't supported me. There's a lot of people who act like we don't exist, but it's not on me. I got you 1 minute. It's not on me to focus on that. So I know all of y'all, listen, don't get me wrong, like this school is school. But when y'all go home, y'all got real problems. Whether it's personal, whether it's familial, whether it's in the neighborhood, whether it's, relationships with young ladies, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So I hope y'all understand, like, man, being in an environment like this and being cared for as a black man, this is extremely important for y'all. Because I don't know how many people, literally, if it wasn't, especially for black women, if it wasn't for them protecting me and believing in me, I wouldn't even be here with y'all. What's your question?
Have you ever had to borrow from the bank?
So, that's a good question. I've tried my best not to. So the great thing about it is all of the delivery vehicles that we have, our 24-foot box truck, and then we're building a 20,000 square foot facility on 59th right off of Justine. We own it outright. So when it came, as somebody that's been homeless, I don't like getting evicted. And so, I was like, hey, listen, I got to watch how much debt I take on to make sure that we're in a good position. So for me and my organization, even though we're a $7 million company, we're debt free. And most people wouldn't believe it's possible. But I say, yeah, I don't like that idea of somebody being able to knock on the door and say, hey, get my stuff back. You know what I mean? It's just not really a good feeling. That's a good question, man. I appreciate that. There you go. I ain't gonna let nobody else pass it to you. That's rude. He was like, oh, okay. Talk to me.
What roadblocks did you face in your journey on being where you are now?
So if I gave you the question was what roadblocks did I face? If I gave y'all the traditional answer of, people doubted me and I didn't have any money, and I'm gonna be honest with you, nothing will stop me right now. only because like I've been at the bottom of the bottom. But even before I did this, I started this, my mom had cancer. And so if you've ever lost a loved one, if you have ever had someone who you've cared for and you at risk of losing them, that's a bad day. If I told you all to close your eyes and think about the worst day you've ever had, you know that day like the back of your hand. So for me, there's no roadblock. There's nothing that anybody can do to me on social media, in business, that is the same as me walking in a room and a doctor telling me my mom has cancer. And so I keep that with me to remind me so I can stay grounded. But in terms of just, of course, when you talk about being a black businessman, we're underfunded. We're overworked. We have to be resourceful. We have to do it with a smile on our face, knowing that our ideas sometimes are amazing, but we won't get the same opportunity. So, I mean, it's all about how you frame it. For me, I mean, they could try to stop me, but they're not going to work hard as me. I wake up 4 in the morning every day. I work out every day. I want to look as good as the work that I'm doing. I want to make sure that when they call me to come talk to y'all, I'll pull up because I got to. I know some of y'all bored. It's cool. But I hope that y'all leave with something to keep y'all motivated. Because, man, the same thing like with y'all sitting right here, it's a school on the north side where like they're starting businesses and they're sponsoring LLCs. So it's like, man, like this is y'all opportunity. So it's like, nah, like ain't no roadblock gonna stop me. Like if I'm breathing, I'm locked in. You ever heard the lighter flick when Lil Wayne rap? When you hear that lighter sound, it's about to go up. That's me every single day. Hold on 1 minute. Go ahead, talk to me, and then you next. No, you first.
So, from everything you've been through, what is the most important lesson you learned from like all your life experiences, especially like you being homeless and now to the position you're in now? Like, what is the most important lesson you learned?
I think for me, the most important lesson I have is hate can only fuel you but so long. So don't get me wrong, you're gonna try to do something great. If any of y'all play sports, if somebody doubts you, you're gonna try to get a touchdown, or you're gonna try to drop 20 on a court, or you're gonna do something, or like you're gonna try to like hate your way through. I don't do that anymore because it's not sustainable. So for me, it's the opposite. Like I only do things that bring me joy, and I only make sure that I give the love that I want to receive in return. And it created the life that I've always envisioned. So I wake up and I get to do this, and I get to have business meetings with a grill in, and I'm not judged. Like I could do all the things that they told me I couldn't. So that's probably the best thing, is like making sure you're doing it because you got love for the game, not because you want to prove haters wrong.
So I got two, it's like an add-on question.
Talk to me.
So did you build this all by yourself, or did you have somebody to fall back behind to help you like set up the business? And if so, then how long did it take you to accomplish all you accomplished?
Got you. I used the internet and my mom and one of my friends. I literally Googled how to start a nonprofit, went to LegalZoom. It was to do it. It was like $2,300, and I raised $2,300 again. And then had the person online help me, filed it, and just started figuring it out. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have a plan B. You know what I mean? Like, if this didn't work out, it just didn't work out. But the great thing about it is every single day I remembered those feelings of like, man, 5 years ago, I was nothing. I was nobody. You know what I mean? Now we got a team. Now we have employees. You know what I mean? All of these things like that. Like that's a big deal. But no, I didn't have no plan B. I just used Google, and I figured it out. And I started making sure that everybody I talk to, if they dropped a nugget or a gem, I'm making sure I'm there listening, and I'm applying it to my business. That's it. That's all. Any other questions? I think I got like one more gift card in my pocket. Ooh. Talk to me.
My name's Darren. So, like, when you first got like big check, like, did you put anything into like investment?
Okay. Big check goes to organization, not to me. I get paid through salary. And if I'm doing like outside speaking stuff. So I want to say that to you because we're not commingling funds. So big check to org goes to org. We have a chief financial officer, whole nine. And then if I have like a check where I'm doing speaking or something like that, then sometimes so I have an investment portfolio. I try to invest a chunk of whatever I'm doing, whatever extra money into some type of stock. So I would say my investment portfolio is in 5 figures now. And it started from like $5 too, by the way, like for real.
business. But on your road and journey to becoming where you are,
Yeah.
is there anybody like a mentor?
Too many people to name. I learn, and I mean, can we be honest? Like, being black is kind of like a village. You know what I mean? So you could get yelled at somebody that they said was your auntie, but ain't your mama's sister. So it's kind of like, you know, a communal thing. So for me, it's like, no, like I can learn from everybody, and not just people who's done business. You know what I mean? I just, man, if I, like, when we talk about the job creation, I didn't learn that from nonprofits. You know what I mean? When we talk about, you know, having our YouTube page and all of our social media channels, I got that from hip hop artists when they drop all of their music. I was like, man, what if we had all of our channels and could do all of that? So like, no, I'm learning every single day. I think that's the fun part of it, because if it don't apply, let it fly. But if it catch you, then you keep it and you figure out what you can do with it. Hold on 1 minute, I'm gonna get them and I'm gonna come back to you. Hold on 1 minute. Talk to, what's your name? Nice to meet you. Transportation issues. Call back.
Did you ever have like in your business, like was there ever a time like you almost failed like a problem, like almost stopped it?
Okay. All right, so listen, if I tell y'all this, it don't leave this room, okay? Deal? I'm gonna get real with y'all, so like, I don't wanna see this on TMZ, don't play me, okay? So listen, one of the hardest moments of my life actually came on what happened at a moment that was supposed to be the greatest day of my life. And this is not public information. The day that I was at the White House, I had a funder basically email me and change their mind about donating $400,000 to us. And this is money that we were supposed to have in 2 weeks to pay our team and everything like that. And so while I'm at the White House, I'm literally freaking out mentally like, man, what are we gonna do? Not knowing we were gonna have to close our doors or anything like that. But we're still here. And we've since grown, figured it out. But it also taught me, and I think a lot of y'all know this, whatever's going on in y'all life, like, you can be having a great day, and then if you get out of school, it turns into the worst day, or vice versa. So, you know, that's not gonna end. That's what life is. Life is figuring out how you respond to tough situations. And so in that moment, I'm thankful that I didn't lose everything. I still had a team that I had to figure it out for. I still take care of my family. I still had to figure all this out. So that was probably one of the most interesting days of my life. Talk to me.
A lot of people don't talk about mental health.
Hold on, wait, speak up a little bit.
Like, a lot of people don't mention mental health.
Absolutely.
Like, how did you get past that without going through it?
So I think the first step is understanding and accepting that, like, you matter, right? So if all you do is wake up and care about your siblings and care about everybody else and don't take care of yourself, if all you do is wake up and you feel like you owe this debt to everybody and not yourself, it starts chipping away at you. So what I've realized is, for the first time in my life, I decided, like, man, I need to be okay. That's all I said. I said, if I'm gonna fail, then I will at least be okay. And it's crazy because the moment I started taking how I believed in myself seriously, my life changed completely. Only because I kind of reshaped it, because we're told we shouldn't care about ourselves. But if we don't love ourselves, how can we love anybody else? So that's just me personally. You don't have to take that, but that's how I approach it.
During your time of employing people, have you met somebody who had kind of like a similar situation to what you had, and have you ever became like a mentor to them to help them guide them on a path like yours, or into like a better path or something?
I mean a lot of people. I think the beautiful thing about what we do is that's not necessary. So I think, you know, like for example, some of our team members are the ones in charge of like creating the produce boxes, right? Should them having a record matter when it comes to making a produce box? Right? So why should we make that a requirement? You know what I mean? And so I think if anything, when y'all talk about this, it's like, no, like some things we shouldn't even be asking. The greatest thing that I can do as a business leader is we have the freedom to hire, the freedom to pay, and the freedom to decide how we talk to our people. And that just don't come up. I don't want to trauma bond with people to then mentor them. Maybe, you know, they're younger than me and maybe they can mentor me in an area. You know what I mean? But sometimes they never even get there. Sometimes they just want to come to work and they just really want to be great and they want to leave it there. Other people, they may want to be a little more, but this free game for everybody. You know what I mean? Because some people I've been motivated by I've never met. Talk to me.
How do you deal with haters or people who look down?
A hater, how do I say this? They gotta catch me. I just believe I'm one of the baddest ones breathing. So I mean, like at some point you gotta ask yourself, are you like, is what they saying valid? Because also understand this, like I could be better. So sometimes when a hater is hating or they trying to chip away at your confidence, sometimes they hit close to home. Imagine your girl just cheated on you. And then you get, all right, Rod Wave, chill out. And then you come to school and the first thing somebody say is, boom, man, what about your girl? Now you got to decide like, man, am I go allow this moment to become bigger than what it is because it hit home? Man, but so for me, it's like, no, like I ask myself when it comes to haters, like, man, like, okay, why am I upset? That's what y'all got to ask yourself. If a hater could say something to y'all that gets you questioning yourself, then did you really believe in yourself? Because if I'm on the basketball team and I could drop 30, nothing they say can change the fact I'm dropping 30, period. I might drop 35 if you make me mad. That's just how it is. But I think making sure you don't give them that power over you, for real. Hold on, anybody, hold on. Wait. I saw a new hand somewhere. Hold on, I'm gonna be back to you in a minute. You don't got to do the fake head. Look, I saw, it's all good. You don't got to do that. Talk to me.
Is there a way like people at 16 can apply for your job, or not apply for your job, but apply to work for you?
So you all have school during the times that you will work for me, but I'm willing to hire a few of y'all for the summer if y'all want to. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I've never done this, but I'm willing to do it for y'all. But don't play, because I will fire you, okay? I need y'all on time. We start bright and early in the morning. Like, I need y'all to lock in, okay? But yeah, like I'll consider it. So I'll make sure they got my information. If it's a few of y'all that want a job in the summer, I'll commit to that. Talk to me. When I got my first check, I'm not gonna lie, it probably was food, because I just work out every day because I eat too much. So I know it was something. Like, that's it. I'm fine with like a pair of shoes and food. Other than that, it don't take much for me, for real. Anybody else? Talk to me. I know you had one more thing. Oh yeah, by the way, hey, I appreciate the questions. There you go. Yeah.
My question was, have you ever had a time where you guys like take a second to breathe?
I can't hear you. Hold on for a minute, guys.
I said, have you ever had a time where you got a little like super mad or very frustrated or something where you have to take the time to step away and compose yourself?
Absolutely. It's always a balance of being upset or being happy. I try to stay even keeled. And what I would normally do is I would get mad if we didn't get a grant or somebody played with me, and then I would go on LinkedIn or something and I would rant. And then one of my mentors, what he started doing was every time I went too far on social media, he would call me and he would read what I wrote on LinkedIn in a Batman voice. And when he finished, listen, and when he finished, he didn't say anything. And I said, okay, I sound crazy. Because it was just threatening language and I was upset. And then what I realized was that my words didn't reflect how I really felt. I was hurt. And so whenever I'm upset, I try to make sure I don't say how I feel, because I don't always understand how I feel at that moment. I got to let things kind of die down. So I sit with it for a minute. I ask myself, man, am I missing anything? Am I okay? If I'm not okay, what can I do to let somebody else around me know I'm not okay? Do any of y'all talk to y'all guys or your friends and be like, man, you know what, I'm not okay? Do anybody say that? And huh? Right. And so literally like being able to just say that to each other is a big thing. If there's people 30, 40, 50 years old who can't even say, I'm not okay. So that's what I do. I just take my time. Of course, I got my team. I have my family. I have everybody. But sometimes I'll just drive with no music on. I'll just think. And I'll kind of replay what happened to make sure that I wasn't wrong. Because I always want to make sure that I understand that, like, I'm not perfect. So I try to lead with an apology before I take it. Last two questions. 3 minutes? Okay, I appreciate you, Catrice. Was I not supposed to say that because you put the fingers up? That's cool.
What helps you stay humble during bad situations?
Staying humble. Dog, I'm no better or worse than y'all. I think that's the fun part. I'm not uncomfortable. I mean, y'all have had people talk to y'all where they try to come in and act like they're so much better. Nah, I'm a bad day away. I could get fired. In a nonprofit, just because you founded it, that does not mean that you run everything. I have a board that I report to, and I can get fired. So then it's like, okay, cool. If I came to this school and I acted like I was better than y'all, and then y'all saw me a month later after I'm fired, do I still feel like I'm better? So it's like, no, I did this for y'all, for the community. That's it. So if I could come in, I could talk to a couple of y'all, and I could still be able to pay people rent and pay them a fair wage, that's a win. So I don't know, like I don't want to be humbled. Life has already humbled me enough. So I'm going to make sure that I'm the person that I portray myself as. That's it. No cap in my rap. I'm still immature. And I make sure that one thing you can do is whenever you're bad at something, make sure you hire people that are good at that thing. So my vice president, Danielle, who's one of the greatest leaders I've ever worked with, in areas where I fall short, I learn from her and vice versa. So like, you know, you can be immature, but to a point. Just make sure that it's not impacting your business and it's not something that you cannot stand behind. So I just make sure that when I'm being immature, I'm not giving in to impulse. You know what I mean? It's like, man, it's like if you got the hot hand, feed me a rock. But if you cold, don't throw the ball. And so it's like that. It's like with being immature, I just try to make sure that like I balance out being goofy and playful with also making sure I get the job done. All right, so last question.
Are you satisfied with where you're at? Like, do you feel like you can still do more?
All right, real quick, y'all. I want to just repeat his question because I think this is the perfect kind of place to stop on. He said, am I satisfied with what I've done? And I'm going to be honest with you, I struggle with that. I think that, God forbid, if something happened to me, I lived a life worth living. I did everything I wanted to do, and I'm cool with it. But I always feel like, man, like, what can I do to, like, bring more back to the people? You know what I mean? And so it's like, it's always a balance of, like, being okay with what you've done, but also as you look forward, like, I just tell people, if I wake up tomorrow, because it's not promised, then I promise you from the moment I wake up to when I lay my head down, nobody went harder than me. And that's just how I operate. But I don't know, sometimes, some days I feel like I have, some days I feel like I haven't. You know what I mean? Cool. All right, so listen, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I hope y'all understand that like you are as great as you think you are. I actually gave the team more gift cards for the remainder of the day. So every winner that they determine or most engaged person of every activity, they'll get a $100 gift card. Okay? So listen. Hey, the only thing that I ask, hey, y'all in the back going to sleep, give me 30 seconds. Check this out. The only thing that I ask y'all do is to just stay engaged today. Just make sure that they understand that anytime they come here and they helping y'all or y'all helping them, that they gonna get a level of attention and respect that they gonna go back and tell their people about, okay? Can y'all promise me that? Sure. Appreciate it, man. Y'all have a good day.